Here we are, we're going to start on our section 11.2, the parabola. Parabola is a set of points that is equidistant from a common point and a line. The point is called the focus, and that line that it's equidistant from is a directrix. We're going to have, let's draw a picture here so you can see what I'm talking about. If I have a focus at 0p, then the directrix would be at y equals negative p, whatever that value of p happens to be. This puts our vertex at 0, 0, and we get a parabola like that. So in our picture that I drew here, we have an axis of symmetry that goes up through our parabola, and it passes through the focus and the vertex and is perpendicular to the directrix, and the vertex is halfway between the directrix and the focus, and that distance to both of those will be the p value. And so we have 4 orientations for a parabola, and let's talk about them a little bit. If I have a parabola that opens up, the nice case, and if it happens to be at 0, 0 where the vertex is, then that's the case that we were talking about where that's at 0p. Not every one of them has a vertex at 0, 0. So when I write this equation, y minus k, well, remember that p there is the distance between the vertex and the focus and the vertex and the directrix. That 4 that you see there is part of the formula. You're going to see that in each of them. Our directrix in this case is at 0p, or our focus is at 0p, and our directrix is at y equals negative p, and our axis of symmetry is going to be at x equals h. In my example where I started over here, that's going to be that x equals 0 that goes up through them. But we can move that off the origin. Let's move it to h. Our second orientation is the downward facing parabola. We still have the x being the squared term. Notice the only difference here is that we put a negative in front of the 4 there, and in this case our focus is there, our directrix is there, and again that's going to be the same. Our third case here is the right opening one. In that case, you notice the difference here is that the k term is the one that's being squared, and the hk is the vertex in each of these cases. Okay? And in that case, we get a p0 focus, and x equals negative p, and then y equals k is that axis of symmetry. And our last one, I'm pretty sure you would have got this, negative 4p x minus h. Negative p0, x equals p, y equals negative k. Or y equals k. K. Let's take a look at a couple examples of this and see if we can finish this video before we run out of time. So determine the equation of a parabola who has a vertex at the origin and has a directrix at this. So if my directrix is at y minus 8 equals 0, that puts my directrix there. Let's look at a picture of this. So if my directrix is at y equals 8 up there, and my vertex is at 0, 0, that means that it has to be an downward opening. That puts my focus there. If this distance here is 8, this distance here has got to be 8. So that puts me at the point 0, negative 8. And so I know that my equation for that's going to be x squared, because there is no movement off the origin, so both those h and k are both zeros. And 4, that's part of my formula. It opens down in a distance of 8 for my p value, and then my y. And let's take a look at some other vocabulary here. A chord of a parabola is a straight line segment that joins 2 points on the parabola. A focal chord is a chord that passes through the focus. So if I have a parabola that looks like this is a chord, and this would be a focal chord. Notice that it doesn't have to be perpendicular to be a focal chord. If I have one that looks like this, and then this perpendicular would be my focal width. So that's perpendicular there. So let's take a look at some uses of that and do a couple problems. So let's start with, suppose that we have a point 8, 8 that is on the parabola, x squared equals 8y. Again, my vertex is at 0, 0. Let PQ be a focal chord, so that's the focal chord, that's the one that goes through the focus. Doesn't have to be perpendicular, but we're going to be using that fact. Find the equation and the length of the chord. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to put this thing in some semblance of form so I can I moved it to a new screen so I could have a little bit more room here. So let's continue. So if I have the point and on the equation x squared equals 8y, and it goes through the point 8, 8. Let's see if we can take a look at that graph and see what it looks like. Again, we're at 0, 0. I don't know if you've solved it and graphed it yet, but I tell you right now it's a little bit wide because it goes through the point 8, 8. So it's going to be a little bit wide. If I solve it, I get x squared over 8, which makes it a pretty wide one. And we know that if I solve my equation to the standard form, with the 4, that constant 4 is always there, this becomes your p. So I know that my distance to my focus is at 2, so this distance in here has to be 2. And so this is the point 0, 2. So I know that that distance is there. So now I have a point 0, 2, and 8, 8. And I know that my focal chord is going to go through those 2 points. So I can find the equation of that by doing y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, which gives me 6/8 or 3/4. And that gives me my equation y equals 3/4 x. And since we already know the y-intercept is sitting in there at 2, then that's my equation. So now I know that I have my focal chord looking like that with a slope of rise of 3 and a run of 4. So give or take a little bit, my drawing isn't too bad. And so then let's plug that into the equation, because we already know one of the intersection is going to be at 8, 8. What we're looking for is the other one over here. So I'm going to plug it in and see if we can find that second one. So I get x squared equals 8, but instead of writing y, I'm going to write 3/4 x plus 2. So I get x squared equals 6x plus 16, or x squared minus 6x minus 16 equals 0. I can factor that into x minus 8 and x plus 2 equals 0. and we get two x values of 8 and negative 2. Well, I already knew that this one was coming because we find that point there. The one that we're looking for is the one that corresponds to the negative 2. So let's go ahead and plug that back into our equation. X squared equals 8y. And so since this is an x value, I'm going to say negative 2 squared equals 8y. 4 equals 8y. Y must be a half. And so I get my second point is of intersection is at negative 2, 1/2. Now the second part of that question, if we go back up to the top, we found the equation of it. We have to find the length of it. So with that, we're going to find the length from this point to this point. And if I use my distance formula, I get that the distance is 8 minus negative 2 squared plus 8 minus 1/2 squared. And so I get 10 squared plus 7 and 1/2 squared, which turns out to be 12.5. So we found that. Let's move on to the second one, which I gave more room to again, so that's good. In this one, we're going to be completing the square to get it in vertex form, obviously, because we have these terms in here. We know that this guy isn't just on the 0, 0 from the origin. We got to find the rest of it. So I'm going to go ahead and move everything over to the other side. I'm going to multiply the whole world by 4 just to get rid of that yucky fraction. And so I get y squared minus 4y equals 4x minus 4. And if I complete the square again, completing the square, it's b divided by 2 quantity squared, which gives me 4. So if I add 4 to this side, I'm going to add 4 to that side. And I get y minus 2 squared equals 4x. And just to make sure I get it in the form where I can find my p, 4 times 1 times x. So again, 4 is part of the formula, so my p is equal to 1. I know because I have the y squared being squared that it's going to be opening to the right. It's a positive. So my vertex is at 0, 2, right there, and it opens that way. I know that my focus is going to be there at 1, 2, and I know my directrix distance 1, the other direction. So this is x equals negative 1. Negative 1 is my directrix. And my focus is at 1, 2, oh, one last thing, axis of symmetry. Axis of symmetry looks to be at the equation x equals 2. And what else do I have to say? Oh, I didn't write down my vertex. I think I said it, but I didn't write it down, so we can call that 0, 2. All right. And let's look at the last one. In this one, we have a bridge. I'll let you read it while I do some drawing here. Looks like I have a bridge. Looks like that. There's the road up there and the bridge going down. We know that this point over here is negative 20, negative 15. This point over here is at 20, negative 15. And since I'm putting my part right there at the origin, I know my equation is going to be x squared equals 4py, and that my p is going to be negative. I can plug in one of these points. Let's use this one, and I'm going to say 20 squared equals 4p times negative 15. 400 equals negative 60p. your P must be 20 thirds negative.